There are 21,105 people that can brag about attending the most attended PWHL game in history. However, I'm part of a much more exclusive group of 728 people that can brag about having attended the least attended PWHL game in history. I hopped on the subway from the Upper West Side, then took the Metro North commuter rail all the way up to Bridgeport, Connecticut. This trip would have been completely infeasible for any normal person who isn't a crazy PWHL fan, clocking in at around 2 hours of travel time. To make matters worse, there was a large storm up and down the East Coast, discouraging anybody from driving to the arena. After walking through downpouring rain with no jacket or umbrella, I arrived at my long-awaited destination, Total Mortgage Arena. I got to see all of the sights, such as this giant orange chair, and also learned that the largest indoor venue for pickleball is in a nearby suburb. I took my seat right next to the ice, ready to witness PWHL New York versus PWHL Montreal. The game was actually super exciting, with high scoring from both sides, and even a pull-in safety goal. Now, watching hockey is always great, but it's way more fun when there's a whole crowd of people around you all cheering together. It ended up going the way of Montreal in the end, but I gotta be honest, it didn't even feel that bad, considering that there were only 728 fans in the audience to be disappointed. What really made me sad was that, despite supposedly being in a new era of women's hockey, we had some of the best players in the world playing that night, and only 728 people showed up. It was disrespectful to the players that the league had scheduled the game at a place where only 728 people could attend, and it was unsustainable from a financial perspective. If you just looked at the headlines from last season, you might think that the Sirens were a bad team, but that's not true. In my opinion, they've always been a really good team, but the circumstances weren't right for them to thrive. As a refresher, the PWHL uses the gold plan, which means that after a team is eliminated from playoff contention, they have to continue earning points in order to earn the first draft pick. PWHL New York did just that in their second to last game of the season, where they beat PWHL Ottawa in a dramatic comeback win, scoring 4 goals in the second period alone. They didn't stop there. In their final game of the season, they had a decisive win over the reigning Walter Cup champions, PWHL Minnesota. The Sirens have a new name, a new coach, and a new arena at the Prudential Center in New Jersey. The Sirens have been electric in their first 3 games, picking up 2 wins, and their first draft pick, Sarah Fillier, is really living up to the hype. There are 2,851 fans in attendance. It's finally the day of their home opener. In period 1, there was no scoring, and the teams looked pretty evenly matched. In period 2, Nora Tullis got things started for New York with her first ever PWHL goal. This game, she was playing alongside the top line of Carpenter and Fillier that had been so dynamic in the first 3 games. Tullis is a new addition to the Sirens this year, having come over from the Swedish Women's Hockey League, where she was the leading scorer last year. Emmy Fecteau kept the party going with her first ever PWHL goal. It's important to note that Fecteau actually plays on the 4th line, so they were getting contributions from up and down their whole lineup. Less than 1 minute later, the captain, Micah Zandyhart, got her first ever PWHL goal on the power play. I honestly feel like Zandyhart is a little underrated as a captain, especially compared to your Knights and your pull-ins, and also because she's a defender, but she does a lot of work behind the scenes to lead this team, and it was really nice to see her get one. At this point, Toronto can feel things slipping away, and they continue to dig their own grave by taking 2 more penalties in the 16th and 17th minute, leading to a 5-on-3 situation. The Sirens capitalized with Jamie Bourbonnais scoring her first of the season. 4-0 Sirens. The Scepters were able to get one back at the beginning of the 3rd period, with Miller scoring off of a sloppy rebound. Tensions continued to rise, but the Sirens were able to hold it down. With just 34 seconds left in the period, Emma Woods was able to score another one for the Scepters. This was probably preventable by the Sirens, and it wasn't ideal, but the game was already over. The Sirens had a blowout win in their home opener. If you weren't listening before, you surely were now. The Sirens were making noise. I'm really happy for the Sirens. Like I said, they've always been a great hockey team, but now the league has invested into creating an environment where they can really engage their fans. This game was definitely exciting, but it wasn't surprising to me at all. It just felt right. Well, what do you guys think? Is this the hottest team in the league right now? Do you think that they could win the Walter Cup? Like and comment down below. Thanks for watching and see you next time!